Welcome back to Pud. I am Pud, and today we are having a wee look at this, the Zeus X by GeekVape, a 25mm kinda top airflow RTA with lots and lots of hype. So the GeekVape Zeus X RTA, 25mm in diameter. This is a TPD version, so only comes at 2mm capacity. However, with any sensible country in the world without silly TPD laws and regulations, you can have a lovely 4.5mm bubble tank. We say top airflow design, however, although it's coming in here, it does go down, feed into the coils. So let's take it down below, do a wee unboxing, get a build in it, and we'll let you know what I think. So here we have it, the Zeus X by GeekVape, nice shiny box. This is of course a 2mm TPD compliant version because they hold tobacco rules, etc., which hopefully we'll be getting to hell really soon now that we're leaving the EU. So on the front you have the picture of the Zeus X itself. This product contains nicotine, which is a load of bullshit. Zeus X, 2mm, and the GeekVape logo there. At the bottom is plain. On this side you have the old scratch and sniff, the social media links, made in China. And on the back here, the Zeus X is the final edition of the Zeus series, specially designed for RTA enthusiasts. All the usual contact details and all your normal warnings along the bottom there as well. The warning below only applies if this product has been filled with e-liquid that contains nicotine. This comes in a range of colours, so we've got stainless steel, blue, black, rainbow, red, black and gunmetal. I've gone for the blue version because this little fucker is pretty much sold out absolutely everywhere. So this is the box that you will get, the GeekVape logo there, some e-liquid on it just because of me, with a lovely dent on the side, but we can't really blame GeekVape for that, that could have happened pretty much anywhere. It is just a plain black box, so we're not going to get too into that. And it slides off nice and easily without you having to sugar the hell out of it. And to start with, you will receive in the box a Zeus X RTA 2ml manual, the Zeus X RTA, a spare straight glass, and a bag of accessories including the Ultim drip tip there, and some shoelace cotton. So here we have the Zeus X tank. Now, I got the blue version because stock was very limited and I was very keen to try this tank, but to be fair, I'm pretty glad I did. I really like this blue version of the tank. So in terms of the top cap, is a 1/4 ton and off it pops. You've got your O-ring at the top there, not a lot to see, but then we have the inside here. So you've got two kidney bean shaped fill ports, which are medium sized. I felt they could be a wee bit bigger, but yeah, not disastrous. We've got a wee bit of liquid sitting in there just from me cleaning, but let's unscrew that as well. Your airflow can come off completely, which is handy for cleaning, but as you can see there, they're pretty big airflow slots. The airflow in this is pretty well open. One issue I'm having is when you're taking this off the fill, every now and again this will pop off and it can sometimes be a wee bit finicky to get it back together. To unscrew the bottom, you are simply turning like so, and I will show you the inside in a wee minute. But we'll start off with this top shit section. So this is your 2mm straight glass, standard in the EU, but that is also available in a 3.5mm bubble elsewhere without stupid laws. And this is the chimney section itself. So inside here, that flew away. We have your chimney like so. You can see just inside there where the airflow is going to come in, but it's going to come down the sides here and in through this honeycomb designed kind of little mini chamber almost that sits off over the top of your coils. So what it does is it slots in over that wee bit there, and it basically reduces the size of the chimney. You've got the honeycomb airflow in, and it produces fantastic flavour in doing so. So the deck has 4 posts, positive and negative sides. As you can see, it's slightly raised up, but this deck is super easy to build on. Large wicking ports there as well. Not a great deal to talk about. It's got flathead screws in it. I would have probably preferred the star screws, but they do the job. I've not had any issues with loosening or anything like that either. On the bottom there, you have the Zeus logo, designed by GeekVape, and you have your gold-plated 510 there as well. So what we're going to do is get a wee build into this, and then we'll tell you exactly what I think. So, for any RTA, RDA, anything with a custom coil that I build, I use the Coil tool. You can find that through Google, there's a Facebook group, there's a website, there's loads of ways of getting a hold of this, which I don't think I can link on YouTube. However, you're talking under a tenner for one of these, or if you want a custom one, you can get it for a couple of quid extra. But what this basically does is allows you to measure the posts in your deck and cut your coils accordingly. However, I've already done all that crap, so I'm going to be cutting these coils at 4.5. So I've got a couple of Lotofo fused Clapton coils. We'll pop them in at the 4.5 and we will snip them. I still haven't replaced my blunt snips, so I'm not going to do that in the camera because it's a bit of a butchery job. So that actually worked not too bad. These snips are a wee bit better than I thought, but yeah, that's pretty much how the coil will work. Pop your coils in, give them a snip. It is so easy. You get consistent results every time, and don't accept any of the bullshit that GeekVape or any other companies are going to try and send you in replacement. So the Zeus X RTA by GeekVape, what exactly do I think? There's a few wee niggly points with it, like there is with most tanks, but in general I am full of positives about this tank. As you can hear there, in terms of noise, it doesn't make too much. Regardless of how open or closed that airflow is, it's still pretty quiet. The airflow itself is super smooth as well. There's not a lot of turbulence to it. And again, that is regardless of how much you are turning this. The airflow itself is really easy to adjust. It's nice and smooth in the turning there as well. It locks into a fully closed position and locks into fully open. It doesn't just keep spinning around and around and around. Now in terms of flavour, with the airflow fully open, the flavour is really good with the airflow completely open, but do this and you will suddenly find it is even better. So halfway is where I like the airflow on it, but as you'll hear, the noise doesn't really increase. In that, I've got some EVC salted caramel custard, and it is just absolutely beautiful in this RTA. The flavour with that airflow, kind of almost halfway, right about halfway closed, is absolutely fantastic. I'm probably going to give that about an 8 or a 9 in terms of how good that flavour is in the tank. In terms of cons, I don't have that much. It absolutely eats through juice, but that's what you've come to expect. So if you're using a 2ml glass, be prepared to fill it very regularly. What you can do though, the Zeus X doesn't have a bubble glass available yet in the UK at the time of posting this review, but they are on the way. If you live in a country which doesn't have absolutely ridiculous TPD laws, you can buy just a normal setup and it'll come with a 4.5ml bubble glass. In the UK, however, if you have a Coil 2, what you want to do is take that leaky bastard to bits and grab the 3.5ml bubble glass out of that, and that's going to fit right on your Zeus tank. So with the bigger glass on it, you won't have the problem of constantly having to fill it. But soon enough you should be able to buy the bubble glass in the UK. It might have been nice if it came as a separate package, but unfortunately it doesn't. The drip tip at the top, for some people might be seen as a negative. It's a very low profile, but for me, I really have grown to like it. If you don't like it though, all you do is dig your finger in here, pop that off, and in there is some O-rings, so you can put any 810 that you have there. There's also a 510 drip tip adapter in the box if that's what you prefer, but for me the 810 just hits the spot lovely. In terms of other cons, what I do find slightly annoying is if you run down the top, what sometimes happens is this. The airflow ring will pop off, and then if you're in a bit of a hurry it can be a bit finicky trying to get it back on in the right position if you're not really watching what you're doing. But that's me kind of picking at stuff because there's not really a lot wrong with this tank at all. I did forget to mention a wee bit earlier in the video that the airflow, although it's really smooth, it's also very, very open. You're probably talking maybe an 8 or a 9 in terms of how open this airflow is. So if you're a flavour chaser, what you might want to do is, as I said, close the airflow over just to halfway and that flavour will multiply. But if you like chucking the big clouds, leave it open. It does both very well. I like the fact that the airflow locks as you're spinning it. It doesn't just keep spinning round and around, but it's also really nice and smooth as you're turning as well. In terms of building, what you want to do is cut your coils about 4 or 4.5 on the coily tool, drop them in, give it a screw, and then start wicking them and burning them in, etc. Super, super easy. Wicking as well is really easy in this. I've found it quite forgiving. I think probably the first time I built it I put a wee bit too much cotton in and I didn't really get dry hits. It was just more a kind of muted flavour than anything else. It was still enough to pull a bit of juice through. What you want to do is cut it roughly at the edge of the RTA itself and give your cotton a good thin down and you shouldn't have any issues at all. As I tried to show you earlier, there's lots of bubbles come up through mine as I'm vaping away on it. The screws in the deck itself are flathead screws. That might be a wee bit of a con for some of you because I know that some guys do like to have the star screws in there, but they do the job, they hold the coils in. I've not had any issues with it loosening or anything. In terms of leaking issues, things like that, the airflow sits at the top so you're not getting juice all over the top of your mod, and there's been absolutely no issues with leaking for the glass, leaking for the 510, any forms of leaks at all with this. Condensation, I don't actually... I've been using this all day. There's maybe a tiny bit of condensation, but you come to expect that, and it's not something that we're going to moan too much about. Happens with most RTAs. Opening the box, the build quality is absolutely fine on this. No machining marks, no oils, no grease, lubricants, anything like that remaining on the tank before building. You might see some stuff when I'm on the build cam, but that's just because I've tested the tank out, washed it out, put it back together. But when I opened this tank up, absolutely spotless, not an issue there at all. So in general, I would thoroughly recommend this tank. Really easy to use, really easy to build on, absolutely not much in the way of issues at all. Looking for negative points is kind of like being a bit picky with it, to be honest. It comes in a wide range of colours as well, so if you're one of these people that like to have matchy things, then you'll have absolutely no issues finding the right tank. So I don't have much else to say about the tank other than go and buy it. A wee bit of a gush fest today, but this thoroughly deserves it. So if you like what you see, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button below, and don't forget to comment. And if you hit the wee bell notification, I will annoy you anytime I upload with a notification to whatever device you happen to use. At the same time, head over to vapetube.com and you'll be able to subscribe to my channel there. There's also all your usual reviewers up there as well. It's pretty much YouTube, but without all the red tape and worrying about being taken down every day. So head over there and sign up. And once again, guys, I have been Pud Puss. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.